What's up, everybody, and thank you again for tuning in to my channel for another review. And today we're going to be reviewing a film that, for me, I completely overlooked. I didn't know anything about it, but nonetheless, a lot of my friends checked it out. A lot of my friends checked it out. They asked if I'd seen it. I've seen a couple of other YouTubers review it. I know that it had hit the film festival circuit earlier this year, and to me, it had a lot of buzz just from just the vast amount of people bringing it up. And a lot of people praised it really high. So, nonetheless, I'm late to the party, and this film is available now in theaters. If your local theaters are showing films, then that's what that would mean. It's not on video on demand or any of that as I know of yet, but it is available in your theaters. And this film is Possessor. So, Possessor Uncut. So, let's talk about that really quick. Like, a film coming out with an uncut version as its theatrical release tells you a lot. And there's one word to describe this film: brutal. The things I've seen in this film was just over the top brutal. I mean, to be honest, this film took every finisher on Mortal Kombat for every Mortal Kombat that ever existed, put it in a blender, stirred it all up, and says, yes, we need that times two. Some of the things that happen in this film is so brutal, I even had to look away. And I really religiously tried not to do that because I feel like I am tough enough to stick through it. But it was just a few that I was just like, oh, I can't endure this. This is a lot. Anyway, let me tell you really quickly what this film is about. Then I'm going to go over a couple of other things. So Possessor follows an agent who works for a secret organization who uses brain implant technology to inhabit other people's bodies, ultimately driving them to commit assassinations for high-paying clients. Now, man, look. Besides this being brutal, this is absolutely gruesome. And I'm going to use every other word, every other synonym for brutal in the rest of this review because that's all that comes to mind. It is super violent. There's just no way this is for the weak stomach. Like this some of the stuff that happens, I'm trying to tell you. And I gotta say too, like, about the hour mark is the point when I was just like, I wish I had not have seen that. Like, it was blood on top of blood with more blood. It was just really, really like a lot. But ultimately, besides that, I thought the concept was interesting. So when somebody broke it down to me, then I eventually read the synopsis, I said, okay, that's pretty cool. And it was, in fact, very interesting because, when you have that concept, you start thinking about things like Inception and so on. Because one, I'm jumping the gun a little bit, but one, I love a good sci-fi thriller. You add some horror into it, and it makes for a good thing for me. But like the things that happen into this, it definitely has some Inception feels to it because you have an agent who's played by Andrea Riseborough, excuse me, who, it's the idea of one person jumping into another body, but then they actually like switch at a point. So it's kind of a like who's in who and who's in what conscious and roles flipping. So like, sort of like that film like Face Off back in the day. So it has like vibes of that. So it kind of gets you kind of wondering like who's in what conscious and it's a lot that kind of goes on. And I will say it's like a little confusing, but after a while it kind of resolves to a point that I like, okay, I can understand this a little. But to be honest, like this film was like an extended episode of something like Black Mirror, like the idea and the concept. And I can't, and then like again, I said it has like a lot of the callbacks to the film Face Off, but ultimately it's literally like Avatar for the wicked. Like it's just that type of movie. It's kind of crazy. But because again, the idea of, mind control, who possesses the host and the plan to like assassinate and to execute the assassination and stuff like that, it kind of gets confusing because you're starting to wonder like, well, who actually wanted to go through with this? And when I say confusing, I mean just challenging. You definitely can stick through it and kind of make what you feel is of what's happening. But ultimately too, like, I wasn't super thrilled with the cinematography here, especially like some of these scenes were like it's kind of blurred. I mean, I did love. I'm a huge fan of color abstract, which I thought was okay, but like the blurring of certain scenes, I wasn't truly high on it. And then lastly, this was like a sick love story. Something you probably think I wasn't going to add here. And it's all encompassed around a red butterfly. And if you know what the red butterfly means, it's really synonymous with that. And it kind of follows that suit along with, what the synopsis is. So like it's a hardcore love story to some extent, I guess. I guess you can find love in there if you're looking for it, but nonetheless, you're gonna find a lot of gore and a lot of killing and a lot of blood all over the place. I hope that all makes sense, because for me, I'm starting thinking like myself, like, yeah, maybe I did clock out after a few scenes because it was just so much happening with the killing and so on. But nonetheless, definitely, if you're just looking for a movie that is just really cutthroat, Possessor is all for you. It is waiting. It is waiting for your viewership. Something I probably won't watch again because it was just a very lot for me. But I did want to check it out because again, there was a lot of hype about it, and when you think about all of the people that's involved with this. It has a good cast, good chemistry amongst the cast, a lot of possibility for future possibilities with this. I mean, I would have loved to kind of know more about this technology just a little bit, just the tech person in me. But nonetheless, for what it is and what it's worth, for it to be an independent film, I thought it really execute at a high level. So, I am very curious to know for you all who've seen it already. Definitely let me know what was your thoughts, your breakdown of this. And if you haven't seen it, when you do, come back in the comments and let me know. And as always, thank you so much for watching my review, folks. And I'll catch you all very soon. Peace out.